What is happening in the crypto markets? Welcome to Framework Fortune Crypto. I'm your host Ben, and welcome back, Framework Fortune community. So we have been keeping a very close eye over the past couple of weeks on Bitcoin. Been given some little fake outs, holding this support, but finally a big pullback, and we're seeing that across the entire crypto market. Ethereum pulling all the way back to 2380. So it wasn't like we were caught with our pants down on this. We were saying, watch these areas. If these areas hold, we'll be fine. But now we have cracked pretty strong. So these trend lines are not going to be very relevant anymore, at least the uptrends. However, Bitcoin is trying to bounce right now off of 35,000. So this is the first time since the middle of last year that Bitcoin has been this low. But why has Bitcoin cracked? Why has the crypto markets cracked? If you're just in the crypto markets, you may think there's something crazy going on, something sketchy. I've seen a lot of stuff on social media about people saying the CIA controls Bitcoin and shutting it down and all of that type of stuff. More than likely not. There's way too much money in Bitcoin for something like that to happen. But it's not the crypto markets themselves that the only thing that is falling. And this is something I've been trying to continually point out. The Dow Jones Industrial Index pulled all the way back yesterday to the uptrend that it has, which we've been following on the Framework Fortune home channel. And this is the last area of support that the stock market has to hold before it could really drop. There's no past chart history of support and resistance until this pivot peak right here at 30,000 on the Dow Jones. So with the stock market crashing, which we're not surprised at all to see that. This is something I've been talking about for 2 years. Will it actually crash this time? It's looking like it might, but because of this big crash in the stock market, that is kind of what started it all, and that is why Bitcoin and Ethereum are pulling back. Investor sentiment right now across all markets is very, very skittish. People are yanking their money out, and we can tell by looking at the dollar index. The dollar index was selling off, but where everybody started selling all their positions in the stock market and cryptos, the dollar is actually strengthening right now because they're going back to the US dollar. However, the US dollar is a whole nother problem in itself, and another part of the reason while markets are dropping. The dollar has been on a downtrend for a very long time. We look at the month chart, it has been on a downtrend as far back on this chart to 1986. It's not getting any better, especially with hyperinflation. I think we are now in stagflation as we are hitting earnings season in the stock market. Netflix came out with terrible earnings. If a whole lot of other major companies come out with terrible earnings, that will only confirm fear, and that fear is rippling through all other investments. The real estate index, the real estate market, having a pretty strong pullback. You can see on the monthly chart, it's still uptrending, but we go to a daily chart, and we have pulled back, barely holding that 200-day moving average and this uptrend. So even real estate got hit. What didn't get hit was silver spiking up and gold spiking up. Now, they both hit their resistance lines, so we may see those markets pull back a little bit if everything calms down with Ethereum and Bitcoin and the stock market. But gold and silver forever have been a go-to, especially in hyperinflation environments. They always hold up. They have always held up throughout history, and we can see that by looking at a full chart of gold and silver. You can see where gold has just continuously went up all the way back since 1834 on this chart. Same thing with silver. Silver had some big spikes in the past, but overall the silver market has been constantly growing. So if you're freaking out because Bitcoin and Ethereum are dropping, know that it's not just the crypto markets. There's going to be people all over social media, all types of YouTubers and influencers trying to call for the end of the world. Everything is going to go blood red. Bitcoin is going to go to 5,000, 10,000. Well, let's actually look and see if that is even a possibility for these cryptos like Bitcoin and Ethereum to drop to the numbers that we're hearing, like 10,000. This is the monthly chart on Bitcoin. If it can't hold the 35,000 area, the 50-day is right here at 25,000. It has not been under 25,000 since it broke out at the end of 2020. So that would be pretty low prices, maybe 20,000 as a bottom, but that's all if this 35,000 area doesn't hold. But from where Bitcoin was in 2020, even now to where it's at in the crash, it's still up, right? This is the end of 2020 right here. Bitcoin's still higher on the chart than it ever was before. So even if it was to pull back to 25,000, Bitcoin is still above previous highs. So support is going to come in somewhere. Bitcoin crashing to anything under 25,000 or worst case 20,000 doesn't seem very likely. That would be a very cheap price for it. Of course, we've been talking about market dominance. Bitcoin may be losing some of that dominance. Ethereum as well. Will they rebound back to previous highs of 5,000 and 60,000 on Bitcoin? Maybe, but we may instead see some other altcoins, some blockchains like Atom, Avalanche, Solana possibly go on some bigger rips after this rebound and take some more dominance from those. Ethereum still has problems with its gas fees. I guarantee people who were freaking out trying to get out of Ethereum had to pay high gas fees, because when there's high traffic, the fees go up. So people who tried to get out of Ethereum quick probably had to pay some extra money just to get out of it. So on the monthly, we have cracked this trend line on Ethereum. So next we just have that 50-day to hold as support, which is down at about 1,1500. Now if we come down to 14 or 1,500 for Ethereum, our investors are going to start licking their chops. So they're going to be excited by that. It is a very good possibility. With the dominance war that's kind of started between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few other coins, even if we do see the rebound, we don't know if Bitcoin is going to lead the market this time. So my prediction last year was we would see a hot altcoin market in February and March. And that still could happen even though we're pulling back right now. We are 10 days away basically from February. And we have been selling off on all these coins since November. So we are getting to a point where the sell-off may be too overextended. And it wouldn't take much to see the coins bounce back off either this areas, or maybe if we dip down one more time, bounce back up pretty quick and continue on the paths for a hot altcoin market in February and March. So I still stand by that prediction. I still think we may see that, although these drops are harder and quicker than what I expected. But usually with harder and quicker drops in the crypto market, we usually see very quick, strong rebounds. Of course, it's going to be a little tricky to predict, because when you do have these times where everything is crashing and people are freaking out and selling, when are they going to stop selling all these cryptos? If social media is covering a message that this is the end of the crypto market, we could go down further off of that type of sentiment. And that's one of the things with social media, is it tends to become a amplifier for bad choices. So for now, there's not really much to do except wait for a bottom. Once we find a bottom, which we may be at, we may not be at, like I said, we may have to drop a little bit lower, then we can start looking for some cheap entries, because the doom and gloom of the crypto market is over is way too far out of line to make any sense with how much money is in the crypto markets. Even with everybody pulling out right now, there's still a ton of money. And then of course there's going to be the very far side, the more conservative side, that is already probably going to be buying at this point. But you don't want to be on one of the other extremes in this time. These are extreme times, and as traders and investors, if you fall into that trap of letting the extreme times mentally affect you and make your investment decisions, then it is probably going to end up pretty bad. What I am doing is waiting for that bottom and day trading little bounces, getting little gains here and there off of the drops. Because even though we drop, on the daily chart, it looks like we're going straight down. If you go into a smaller time frame, there's still going to be little bounces even though we're downtrending. So a lot of those coins are going to give some small opportunities, but you can't get greedy and think that it's going to rebound a whole bunch, because we've not seen any cryptos rebounding at all. In fact, the top gainers was API 3 yesterday, which did have a nice move up, but sold everything back off pretty much. And then BTSRT, which had a little bounce, but has already sold back off as well. So there may be opportunities on these smaller supply coins to get some decent sized bounces, even if we're still heading down. But you got to be quick, and you got to get in there when you start to see patterns forming, and also be quick to get out. Take your trading shots and get out. If they turn around on you quick, just cut the loss, because if they turn around on you quick, because we're in downtrends, they could have other big legs down very easily. So just keep in mind, while we're downtrending, support areas are going to be less likely to hold. Resistance areas are going to be stronger and harder to break. And of course, that's just if you're day trading and swing trading. So still going to be opportunities no matter what's happening. But for now, there's really no reason to do any technical analysis on a bunch of different coins, because all the technical analysis is showing the same thing. We are still having this sell-off at the moment. So we'll continue to keep covering the crypto market and what's going on right here on the Framework Fortune Crypto channel, and also we'll be covering all the other markets on the Framework Fortune home channel. If you have any questions, any concerns, you want to reach out, leave it in the comments below and hit me up, or join the Discord group. You can find the Framework Fortune Discord by going to frameworkfortune.com and signing up with your email. It is free sign-ups, no paywalls, and you'll be able to get access to that Discord where you can talk to me, H&H Trader, and anybody else in the community who's a part of that. So if you're new to trading and new to investing, don't let the red markets get you down. There's always going to be more opportunities to make money as time goes on. We are just in some very uncertain times across all markets. So stay smart, keep studying, learn from the lessons that the markets are giving you right now in bearish momentum. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.